All right, everybody. So here we are, and okay. So on in this lesson, we're going to learn about how to obtain some basic statistical um, calculations. Okay, so we're not going to get into a whole lot of specifics here at all, because that's not what this class is supposed to be about. Um, anyway, so. All right, so first of all, in order to do this, we got to have data. So we'll do what we've learned already. We'll go stat, enter, and then we'll put in some numbers, like, oh, I don't know, 1, 4, 3, 6, 4, 4, something like that. Okay, whatever. I'm just picking numbers randomly. Okay, so now we can go, if we go stat, right arrow, we have all these options. Okay, there's linear regression, quadratic regression, and as we see in some of the other lessons. But option number one is one variable statistics. Okay, so if we did two variable statistics, we'd need to put information in L2 as well, but we're not going to worry about that. Um, so we're just going to pick option one. And when you get here, it should say L1. Okay. If it doesn't, then it's it's not going to work because that's where we put the information. So this first line, we're telling the calculator where to look for the information to use. So if it doesn't say L1 there, then notice right above the number one key, it says L1 in blue. So you would go blue 1. Okay. So mine already says that. And if once you tell it L1, you shouldn't have to tell it again. It should be saved. Okay, so we just go down to calculate, and it gives us all these cool calculations. There's an arrow right here suggesting, oh, there's still more below. But let's see what we got here. So this first one, X bar, that just means the mean or the average. Okay, so if you just take the average of all those numbers, add them together, divide by how many numbers you added together, you get 3 2/3. Okay, this E looking thing, that's capital sigma from the Greek alphabet. That's the Greek's letter S. And so in math, we want to look smart, so we use Greek and other stuff. Um, and so S is the first letter in the word sum, as in summation, add things up. So if you add up all the numbers in the set, it adds up to 22. Okay. So that's what that means. The next one says add up the square of each number. So if you square each number in our set and then add all that up, you get 94. This one right here, the SX, that is the standard deviation um, and of our sample. And that's just a measure of how spread out the numbers are. Okay, so the more spread out they are, the bigger that's going to be. Okay. Um, and then the second one, that's the standard deviation, not of the sample, but of the population. Again, we're not getting into that. N equals 6, that just tells us how many numbers we put in there. So we put in 6 numbers in list 1. And then these last few things give us what's called the 5-number summary, the minimum number in our set, the maximum number, the first quartile or 25th percentile, the median or middle number, or 50th percentile, and the third quartile or 75th percentile. And again, we're not getting into what all that means. If you want to know, well, just ask me or take a class in statistics. Probably be faster and easier just to ask me, though. Um, anyway, that's what those things do. So let's, if we go back to stat enter, we can see that, let's see, there were, yep, L1 of 6. There are 6 numbers there, just like it told us. If you add them up, you get 4, and 4 and 6 is 14. 14 and 7 is 22. Yep, that's correct. Okay. And then we can go clear, enter, and then we can put in different numbers. And like, for example, if we just do that, so I put in the number 3 5 times, that's it. And then I do it again, stat right, enter. The average, of course, is 3. And when you add them up, it's 15. Okay, because 3 times 5 is 15. If you square them all, they all become nines, and 5 nines adds up to 45. And how spread out are the numbers? Well, they're not spread out at all over the number line. They're all the same thing. So the measure of spread outedness is 0. And there's 5 numbers in the set, and anyway, it's very repetitive. But that is how it is done. Okay? How do I turn this thing off?